Identifying spaces. To determine the extent of the report, you need to list and describe the different dwellings that are proposed for the project. This section explains the role of dwellings and spaces in the BESS tool. The number and type of dwellings and spaces in your project will inform what credits are applicable for the project throughout the report. For residential projects, the different dwelling types must be identified. These are called dwellings in BESS. For non-residential or mixed-use projects, the non-residential areas must be defined. These are called spaces in BESS. Different residential building types will require a different approach in this section. For example, a single dwelling is more simple, an apartment building is more complex. To define and set up your project in BESS, you will need the floor plans and elevations of the proposal, and you will need to be able to identify and group the similar dwellings in the project. To complete the dwellings table, you need to group all the dwellings in the project into similar dwelling groupings. The next few slides will define what is meant by similar dwellings and thermally similar dwellings. The reason why it is important to be able to define and group the dwellings is that it makes the data entry in the BESS tool easier. Each dwelling in the project must be accounted for. So for complex projects with many townhouses or apartments, entering each dwelling individually into BESS would be time-consuming. By grouping dwellings with similar characteristics, you can save time, not only in the project setup, but also when completing the water and energy sections, which draw on this breakdown of dwellings. Similar dwellings are dwellings that are both thermally similar and share similar systems such as heating and cooling, hot water, rainwater connection, fittings and fixtures. If the dwellings are the same in every way, except that some toilets are connected to a rainwater tank and others aren't, then they cannot be grouped together as they have a different systems design. Thermally similar dwellings largely refers to the performance of the envelope, the orientation of the dwelling and its living spaces. Thermally similar dwellings generally have similar orientation, similar heating and cooling loads, are of a similar size, and have a similar number of external or exposed walls. The slide shows two examples. In the first example, there is a dual occupancy townhouse. These are not thermally similar dwellings as they have different side orientations. In the other example, a row of townhouses, there are 3 thermally similar dwellings, one at each end of the row, with 3 external walls and a different side orientation. The dwellings in the middle can be grouped together as they appear to be the same size and have the same orientation and number of exposed walls.